Hello everyone, I just yawned and welcome back to RWBY Discussions. I am the MaxN'Mate Trades and I am stretching a lot. I have with me as always is...
your only mate.
That's true.
As always.
It's always him. Today we're here to we're here to ask about, I guess. No, we're here to talk about Volume 6, Episode 9, Lost. Anything you want to say before we get into it?
We can still ask things. I have questions.
Alright, fine, that's cool. Anything you want to say before we get into it?
Nothing that's related, no.
Alright, so the episode starts with Mercury and Emerald being brooding. I've decided to start to refer to them as the Brooding Brood.
Yeah, and then Emerald's just like, Mercury, why are we here?
I mean, I don't know if it was a direct reference, but it certainly seems like it could have been.
I was just making a joke reference. They don't say anything like that in the episode.
Well, no,
it was a missed opportunity.
It was.
But they could have.
No, but she is basically, Emerald is basically questioning what she's doing there because Cinder's not there, and that's all the reason she was there for. And then Mercury is like, you know she hates us, right?
I don't know why. I want to see a RWBY fan comic of that scene now, where it's just like, Mercury, do you ever wonder why we're here? Well, I mean, it's one of those great mysteries. Why are we here? Is there like some big plan involved? Is there like a god watching us? I don't know, Emerald, but it keeps me up at night. She's like, what? I meant, why are we working for Salem? Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Anyway, so Mercury is like learning how to punch stuff, I guess. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can't just kick everything.
I know. But anyway, this was a really good scene because both of them ended up like, you know, having problems. And I like it when they don't have things go wrong for them because they are the worst.
I like it when things go wrong for the bad guys.
Exactly. But seriously, it was pretty much like one of the most funny things ever. It's like Mercury has decided to to end his decade-long vow of silence, to just talk to Emerald and say, like, you do know that Cinder just does not give a crap about either of us, right? At all.
Yeah.
And in fact, your entire weird thing with her is kind of creepy.
It kind of is.
Like, what is your deal? And of course, she gets cranky about it, and she's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm sorry you didn't have a mom that loved you. I had a dad who hated me.
I will say, like, we've always talked about, oh, Mercury's just doing this because he's an arsehole, but then he explains why he's even there, because, well, it's all he's ever known in his life. His dad just trained him to be a killer after he killed him. After an abusive upbringing.
Two people showed up and are like, hey, you want to kill stuff for us? And he's like, okay.
Might as well.
And now he's killing stuff. So, I mean, we're not wrong. That is technically why he's here.
And it was nice to actually get more backstory on, like, why he does that. And all I have to say to that is, I mean, fair enough, I guess.
I mean, yeah, alright.
But it wasn't the only option he could have taken.
Nah, true. But it's the one he took.
Yeah.
Regardless, these two are falling apart, and I'm totally down for that, because they are the worst.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
They fight.
Because here's the thing about Mercury, at least. I mean, yeah, we got a little bit more context. We learned about his semblance and how it got stolen, and then he killed his dad and didn't get it back, because I guess he didn't think that through.
Apparently.
Yeah, but here's the thing. That's still not much of a character. He's still not really worth caring about.
Yep. By the way, that goes into one of my questions from this episode.
What
was his semblance?
His semblance was feet.
What was it?
It was feet. He has he sprouts extra legs.
There was a friend I was talking to, like, what if it was just that Chun-Li super? Where it's just, like, several kicks.
I mean, if anyone was gonna have one, that would make sense that it would be him. Either way.
And his dad's like, nope.
Anyway, Emerald and Mercury fight, and you gotta be honest, I wish the fight kept going, because that would have been great. I really wanted one of them to beat the crap out of the other one. But no. Stupid McTailhaver showed up.
And we see his new tail.
It is all shiny.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice that they replaced more of his tail than was cut off.
Yeah, either they just decide to make the entire thing a Robotail, or that's just armor around what's left?
No, I'm pretty sure they just ripped out the whole damn thing and decided, all right, hang on, I'm gonna just shove this metal thing in your buttock. And
somehow, I don't think Tyrion would have a problem with that.
no, he didn't, because he's weird.
Because it's Tyrion, he's crazy.
He's a crazy man with a crazy plan, and that he doesn't have a plan.
Every single time he comes on screen, I have to give massive props to his voice actor.
Yeah.
Just for the performance and the voice in general. And the fact that I know it's the same guy who voices Armin in Attack on Titan.
That is pretty weird.
Like, I compare the two and I'm just like, they're voiced by the same person.
Alright, so here's a question we can hypothesize about. Really, true, and honestly, what do you think the end game, as in from like a story perspective, do you think Emerald and Mercury even have? Like, what is their purpose? What are they building up to? What is there?
I mean, there is that theory on at least Emerald. Like, well, I mean, I think eventually they're gonna get killed off.
Both of them?
Honestly. Maybe.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. I just...
Yeah, I would too.
I just don't know, like, I don't know. I feel like they should... I feel like they're building it up too much. It's not like they have to do something before that happens. Like a redemption equals death type situation, maybe?
Yeah,
not for Mercury.
I think that's what's happening with Emerald.
Yeah, like, I think Mercury might just get killed for the sake of getting killed, and I'm okay with that. And Emerald might, like, betray the bad guys and then die almost instantly for it.
Oh, what if she gets killed by Cinder?
I'm okay with that.
That'd be heartbreaking for Emerald.
Yeah, well, not as
I owe
not
Cinder everything, and Cinder's like, I'm gonna backstab you.
Heartbreaking for her. Yeah, as her heart is quite literally broken.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of... Cinder's got a weird obsession with just impaling people.
No, that's Adam. Actually, all villains have a weird problem with that.
I guess it's just the easiest way to go about it. It's an easy way to...
And Neo tried to do that with Yang in Volume 2.
It's true. Just gotta stab some fools.
Is that a thing? If you're a RWBY villain, do you have to impale someone? Is that how you, like, qualify for top villain status?
I mean, Tyrion's got his pointy tail thingy, and he tries to stab people with that, so possibly. Now here's this Looney Tunes McBugs Bunny McDoctor Man. Yeah. Whose name I never remember.
Watts.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
What's his name?
Watts.
Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah. You're not gonna get an Abbott and Costello out of me.
It was worth a try.
Yeah, well, you failed. The point of the matter is, can that guy fight?
I want to know.
Is he just a guy who's good at making robot things? And like, because that has a place in an organization like this, but if he can't protect himself, then why would he constantly be going places? Now, do you remember where Tyrion and Watts are going?
They're going to Atlas.
Atlas, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that's probably going to be next season!
So, at the very least, it looks like, hey, next season we'll see what Watts can do. Maybe.
Maybe. Either way,
I have heard some speculation that, like, and we even talked about it, the idea that he was involved with Penny. Like,
that's yeah. No, that's possible.
So if they are making like a Penny 2.0, like some people have speculated that won't have the same memories as the original.
I mean, that's sort of the thing with Penny. Out of all the characters who have died, she's the only one that could actually come back, and not in a non-contrived way.
But I was gonna say, Woods could potentially, I don't know, hack her and like make her attack people.
That'd be neat. And
God, imagine RWBY like from seeing that.
Yeah, she'd have to kill it. That would be fun, and exactly the type of horrible trauma that Rooster Teeth loves to subject its characters to. Anyway, now that we're done with the brood.
No, I'm gonna go into something like that, like later.
Okay. We go to Team Junior with Sister. And they're talking. It's like, hey, what happened to Oscar? And they're like, stuff happened. Things are getting bad. And she's all like, but things are always bad. That's the whole point. And then they were like, oh, dang, this lady's got a good point. Basically. But John is still feeling very depressed.
Yeah, and Seth is like, I mean, there's stuff that you could do here, and what you're doing doesn't have to be your mission.
And they're like, nah, we're kind of already involved too deep.
I would like to think she just wants her baby brother to, like, stay near and be safe.
And not die.
Yeah. I'd like to think that's, like, what she was, like, just trying to do.
I mean, that sure seems like the case, and it would be relatable and make lots of sense.
Yeah.
Regardless, she has to go, and she goes. And John decides, I'm gonna sit on a bench and be sad. Nora and Ren then leave because John needs to be alone for this next scene to work. But they go to a cafe, but that's besides the point.
And then a wild leaf appears.
Not just any leaf. The same kind of leaf. And you wonder what... Okay, here's the thing about this one leaf. And there's a lot you could say about this leaf.
The one leaf.
This one leaf, okay? Not... Okay, it's like... You understand the symbolism behind it, right? It's not just a leaf, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because it was from the same scene where he was with Pyrrha.
Yeah. And,
well, maybe it's obviously not the same leaf, but you get what I mean.
I mean, if it was the exact same leaf, I'd be impressed.
It would be, yes, that'd be great. But here's the thing. We're very much into winter now.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, that leaf is still a thing fluttering around. And considering the fact that the leaf shows up, like, says what up to John, and then flies over to a place, and John's like, I'm gonna follow that leaf.
Before we go into this...
That's some kind of magic leaf.
Speaking of magic, actually, at first when I saw that scene, I thought to myself, uh-oh, because that's the leaf you see in Fool, and there was all that Full Maiden stuff with Pyrrha. Cinder is the Full Maiden now.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
What if it was a trap?
I mean, it could have been. It wasn't. I mean,
yeah,
it was, but less in the physical sense and more in the emotional sense. But I really do, I want to know what was going through John's head. He's like, whoa, a leaf. I'm gonna follow it.
Ooh, pretty leaf.
Like, did he make the exact same connection?
I mean, he would have had to. Otherwise, like, John, why are you following leaves?
I know, it's just, I don't know why he would. Because we understand the symbolism.
That leaf owes him money.
Maybe. Either way, so he follows the leaf, and shock and awe and surprise, giant Pyrrha statue.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone got sad.
Yeah, I miss Pyrrha.
Everyone misses Pyrrha. Too good for this sinful earth.
Why did she have to die?
Because it was shocking and it moved things ahead.
I know. But why Pyrrha?
I don't know. Because somebody who was nice had to go. Like, that's sort of the thing. It couldn't have been somebody, that people would be neutral on. I mean, nobody... Maybe there were people... Maybe there were people who didn't care about Pyrrha, but at the same time, I feel like nobody hated her. And I think that's what made her, like, the best candidate. She was written for this explicit purpose. To be really awesome and loved by all, and then murdered. And of course, in the background, we get the Jean and Pyrrha music. Because, we're not sad enough yet. And anyway, so Pyrrha didn't want to be an idolized wonder god, and now she has a gigantic statue in her hometown. Where she will be treated and loved as a martyr for all times.
I mean, it makes sense that it's in her hometown and people that knew her could pay some kind of, like, tribute and respect.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Alright, so this is going to be a weird thing to bring up. But... this statue, is it proportioned properly?
What do you mean?
Like, is that what Pyrrha's body really looked like? Because it kind of seems... different.
Okay, are you talking about a particular thing? Well, two things.
Generally, without the words.
Bigger or smaller on the statue?
Big.
I honestly never thought about that.
It's just, you see the statue from different angles, and I don't know. Unless the model that she used to have in the early volumes was just not up to the detail, I guess. I don't know. It just seems like that's, I don't know, an over-exaggeration.
I'm gonna have to look at the episode and then look at an episode with Pura again to...
Yeah, go ahead, you do that. Anyway, so let's just move past that weird conversation into Mystery Lady!
Redhead woman.
Yeah! Red-haired, green-eyed woman with the same voice actress as Pura. Is it her mom? Is it her sister? The world may never know.
Some
but she has...
like, it's totally her ghost. It's not.
Why would Pura's ghost not look anything like her and bring flowers to her statue and cut her hair? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Why would she do that? That doesn't make sense. Ghosts don't work that way. Besides, she leaves the flowers next to the statue, and, like, they don't go away when she vanishes. Spoiler, she vanishes.
I will say, there were some things that did make me think, okay, maybe that has, like, some ground to stand on. And there being, like, the leaf. Like, it's got no real business being around.
No,
it leads Jean specifically to the statue.
Mm-hmm.
This woman shows up. No
At the same dang time. That's convenient.
And she leaves just as more people show up.
That is true.
But also, someone pointed out the flowers she's holding symbolize, like, reincarnation.
Yeah, but they're not that fast!
Wait. I did go into, like, looking into the language of flowers, and for those watching, yes, that's a real thing. To look up, like, any flowers that symbolize, like, reincarnation, new life. The ones I found didn't really match up with those particular kinds of flowers. So, not too sure. But it did get me intrigued.
Plus, I just don't see that as being a thing for Pura. Like, I've had a long-standing theory that a small portion of her existence is still a thing.
Like, maybe it's in Jean's aura, like, because she unlocked it.
It's either in Jean's aura, or, like, there was, like, a tiny remnant of maiden power that didn't get shoved into Cinder, and it's, like, floating around in the ether. I don't know, but I mean,
because the transfer did start.
Exactly, so there was some stuff in there before it got interrupted. So, and I don't know, and because she didn't have all of the stuff, the power didn't, like, fly over to anywhere, it just kind of stayed dormant, and energy doesn't really die, it just kind of exists forever. So, I don't know. Certainly nothing that will ever bring her back, but I feel like, I don't know, she might sort of exist in the sense that she's able to kind of, sort of push things.
There's only one way I could see her, like, coming back. And it's like, well, it depends if Salem can actually do this.
Bring her back as a Grimm?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but we have no evidence to support that as a thing that could happen.
Yet.
And even why would she?
I don't know, like, get Pura to fight Jean, Red, and Nora.
Well, that would just be mean.
That would.
Anyway, John gets very sad.
But then I could have a scene where it's like, after beating Grim Pura, they, like, well, she gets control and has, like, one last, like, final goodbye moment with, like, her team.
I mean, that would be nice. I'd be okay with that. I mean, I'd be a hypocrite to say that that wouldn't be a good scene, because there's something exactly like that in my favorite video game ever, and that was one of the best scenes in the game, so... Temporarily being brought back to life to say goodbye. I'm okay with that. Regardless, Jean is very sad.
Yeah.
But then Mystery Lady gives a pep talk.
Also, if you look at Jean, like, close enough, he's, like, kind of stroking the, like, red cloth from Pura with his thumb.
Oh, wow.
like on his waist.
You're right.
That's crazy detail. I saw someone point that out online, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is amazing."
It's probably become something of like a I don't know, maybe like a comfort tick. I mean, that's kind of the whole entire reason that, you know, he added what was left of her armor to his and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the sash itself was from her, but either way, I mean, he wears it specifically in remembrance of her. So, that's something. But what is the deal with this mystery lady? Because I see a lot of people actually saying, ah, well, the team has closure now. And it's like, I don't think that means nothing Pyrrha-related is going to happen ever again. Some people seem to think, oh, and that's the end of that subplot.
Yeah, I doubt that's the end.
That doesn't make much sense. I just feel like maybe John is slightly happier, or more able to move on now. Especially once Ren and Nora show up and they have a little powwow, and they're like, hey, so we're really worried about you.
Yeah, I'm glad they told John that.
Yeah, so am I, and I'm glad it didn't happen off screen too, because it's important that I think these three like have more time to like develop in front of the viewers.
Yeah.
To make sure that like that they really are that close and everything is like, so we saw you go after Cinder, and like,
and we heard what you said
about how you were totally cool with just dying because you don't matter, and they're like, so hey, maybe don't.
Yeah, because we love ya.
And that's just how it be. But I like that. My god, Nora is short.
She is the shortest one out of the group.
I know, but it's like, sometimes I forget, and then it's like, it shows John, and then it pans over, and you see Ren, and then you see Nora, and like, because of the framing to keep John's face, like, up, you know, without, like, moving it or backing up the camera, like, it's just Nora's head peeking out, just out of frame. It's like, oh my god.
Hey, if you think Nora's short, look at Neo.
Neo doesn't exist.
Yet.
Anyway, so...
Nora and Cinder in off-screen land.
Yeah, that's true. Anywho, so... They have a good talk, and they say they miss Pyrrha, but it kind of renews their resolve in a way. They're like, okay, so maybe we don't have the slightest idea how to do what we need to do, but we should still probably go and do it. I mean, it's what she would have done. It's probably what she would have wanted us to do. And so there you go.
And then the Leaf makes one final appearance.
That damn Leaf. What is that Leaf's thing? Oh, right, and then John says thank you to the statue. It was very sad.
Yeah, but it was heartwarming.
It is sadly heartwarming, and then the Leaf flies away, knowing that its job is done.
My work here is done.
Indeed. And then we cut to RWBY, who's angry.
That's what else, Crow?
She's sick of Crow's nonsense! Stop being useless! Stop being useless! White has her scarf back. Stop being useless!
I'm sorry, just you and the scarf.
I have to, it's a thing now. But RWBY is getting progressively more and more not okay with Crow's nonsense. And even Yang is starting to get angry too. Or
so
Yang,
you just giving me an idea for a fan comic. I'll talk about it later.
Alright, cool.
But, yeah, people aren't happy with Crow.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be. Because he's being a real butt right now. He's
is.
like, oh man, a drunk person in front of our house. That looks good in front of the neighbors. And then elbow to ribs. Because John's sister is good.
That's the second time... Wait, is that the second time, like, two characters have done that? Like, quick elbow to the ribs. It's like, hey, shut up.
I think so. It's a pretty common gesture.
Yeah, there was Blake and Yang in Volume 1, and now this.
Ah, that would make sense. Anyway.
Yeah, the whole, like, you sure you didn't hit your head?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Yang.
Yeah.
I love that moment.
That was pretty good. So, you know, Team Junior are like, oh, we're definitely going to be hanging out with you guys now. It's like, and RWBY's all like, you is? And they were like, yep. And then he has to say goodbye to his sister, because, you know.
Sorry you won't be staying. So sorry we won't be staying. No, you're not.
It's true.
I love how she says that, too.
That's a good sister. Anyway, Oscar shows up. All right, I forgot. They're all outside looking for him.
I was really surprised about that. I didn't expect him to just, like, show up.
Like, sup, I'm in the house, y'all.
Yeah, I've been cooking for you guys, it turns out.
And I got a new outfit.
Which I'm not gonna lie, looks good on him.
No, it does. He looks less like a guy who would maybe attack you with a pitchfork and more like a guy who might actually, like, be important to the plot.
Yeah.
And then, my god, maybe the
frame this moment, Jesus Christ.
Maybe the funniest goddamn scene I have ever seen in this show, ever. Because it's not just Nora sprouting multiple legs. It's not the fact that for some reason, like, Weiss and Ren, they, like, strike T-poses as they fly over to him. It's the fact that all of the stoic characters are also doing it, but, like, they just flat out turn T-pose. Blake's arms just kind of go missing for a second. And then there's the extreme pelvic thrust from Nora, propelling herself forward, which, by the way, is the image I'm using for this.
Oh, I'm happy.
It's just, and they just all tackle him, and I love it, because even the stoic characters were, like, really happy to see him. It's so good. And they're all very worried. It's like, I still love that. Ruby, are you okay? And Weiss, we were so worried. Wait, was it Ruby and Weiss? It was Weiss. It was Weiss. It was Weiss, then Ruby, then Nora.
Oh, then... Yeah. I love how they say that, and then Nora's just like, what are you wearing?
Clothing.
Okay.
So cute. Oh my god. Anyway, he's like, nah, I didn't really actually mean to ever leave. I was just getting some stuff, and I planned on coming back.
Could have left a note, at least.
I mean... Yeah.
Like, my god, I saw so many theories about you, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
I got worried. I saw some people like, oh, Cinder and Neo are gonna kidnap him. And I saw one that got really dark, and I'm just like, I don't want to go into that.
Yeah, fair enough. Regardless, John decides, I'm gonna apologize, because he really does feel bad. And he's like, nah, dude, it's fine. We all have troubles.
We're all mad at the old man inside my head.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, the old man inside my head eventually is going to become... I don't know, embedded into my brain, and I'm going to turn into a different person, and I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to feel. I don't know how I feel about it, but I also know that I don't have much of a choice. So I'm going to spend the rest of my time actually just doing my best to help.
Oh, and he also makes the scene more depressing by saying he doesn't know how much time he has left.
Yeah, as if he had, like, a terminal disease.
I want Oscar to stay.
Maybe Ozpin could relinquish, like, maybe give Oscar more control than... most to do.
Or maybe when they get to Atlas, like, you know, they had that aura transfer machine.
Get the old man out.
Yeah, what if they have that? Just make, like, an android body like they have with Penny, synthetic person capable of generating an aura. Put Ozpin in that.
Well, to be fair, both of those things.
And then we keep Oscar.
To be fair, both of those things are in fact top secret.
Yeah, but they know I am.
The casserole.
Oh yeah, not the casserole!
Sorry, had to bring that up.
Anything but that!
Yeah. And then Crow...
Save the casserole!
Gotta save the casserole. And then Crow's like, I'm gonna go be drunk and sad upstairs. And Ruby's all like, hey, maybe don't? And then Crow is like, no, I'm gonna be awful. And John is like, hang on, yo. I have an idea. But it's the kind of idea that you can't ever take back.
Yeah.
Very awesome idea from John.
What if we steal a military airship?
And everyone is like, okay, for real, though? Like, that's just the faces on everyone. Except for the baby.
Yeah.
The baby laughs.
I love how the baby laughs. Adrian. We should be calling him by his name.
No, its name is the baby. Also, why is...
Baby Adrian.
Why is Maria holding the baby?
I don't know.
Maybe just so he could be in that one scene so he could laugh at him?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I accept that.
And Weiss says that's not just illegal, it's like super-de-duper illegal.
And then Crow's like,
and then Crow's like, hey, you're stupid. I hate you children. And Ruby's all like, okay, you know what? To hell with you and everything you stand for.
I will say, to give Crow some credit, like, he is right. It's the Atlas military that they'd be messing with, and if it goes wrong, it's gonna go so wrong.
Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, like, what other choice do they have? They tried to be sensible. They tried to be, you know, normal and make everything work out fine. And then they were like, no, the stupid, short, angry lady.
I'm not saying I'm not saying I agree with him and that he shouldn't do it. I'm just saying he does have a point.
Regardless, Ruby stands up to him. It's
Yeah,
like, wow, we actually had a morale boost, and then Crow was like, no! Wallow in self-pity! And Ruby's all like, no! I'ma use my small bean powers on your face. Because that's the thing about Ruby, she's a hope bringer.
Yeah.
That's her whole thing.
Who doesn't love Ruby?
Yeah.
Everyone needs some Ruby in their life.
Indeed. So, Ruby's like, okay, we're gonna do John's plan. And I've made an executive decision.
I don't know why, like, I just imagine, like, if I could bring just any collection of Rooster Teeth characters, like, just to my side, if I was gonna put Ruby in a group, it'd be her, Caboose, and Nikki from Camp Camp.
That's a weird team. We'll call them Team Weirdo Beans.
Yeah, sure. Although, actually, I'm trying to think of any. Actually, nah, Nikki from Camp Camp is the best choice.
Well, there you go. And that's the episode. That's Volume 6, Episode 9, Lost. It was a good episode. It had a lot of emotions and junk all up in it.
It was. Oh, and I should say this, the fan comic I was thinking about with Weiss and the scarf. She's talking to Mikasa from Attack on Titan, who's just telling her, hey, keep that red scarf on. Like, it's weird you keep taking it off.
It's true. Stop taking it off and putting it back on, lady.
Yeah, just keep it on forever, like she does.
Yeah, she's a weirdo.
There's like one scene where she doesn't have it on.
That's true.
Maybe more, I can't remember.
I mean, there was a time before she had it, but that's besides the point. We're not talking about her.
Yeah, true.
The question is, how do you think this is all going to go down? Because obviously there's going to be a kerfuffle. There's probably going to be a fight. Because, I mean, every season ends with at least a fight?
Yeah, I do suspect that because we haven't seen them for a while, and they are planning to go to Argus, like, Cinder and Neo have got to show up.
Well, so, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got, like, 3 episodes left?
Wait, we're on chapter 9, right?
Yeah, so 10, 11, 12.
Then we should have 4.
Okay, so...
At the very least. I've heard people say that it's ending at chapter 13.
Yeah, so that would be...
But I heard earlier on there's like 14 chapters, so I'm not sure anymore.
Okay, alright, well...
I'm just gonna wait until the credits roll.
Yeah, might as well. Regardless, hopefully there's a fight and cool stuff happens.
And this is going into a prediction of mine for the rest of this volume.
Hey.
So if Cinder and Neo turn up...
Yeah.
And they're like... They both don't really like Ruby all that much. I noticed a little something about Team RWBY. Well, Weiss and Blake have scars on their torsos, and we can actually, like, people have pointed this out, like, if you look at Blake's model really closely, there is a scar on, like, her stomach.
Yeah, but it's, like, underneath her coat.
Yeah, like, it's really hard to see.
And I imagine it would be the same with Weiss, but, you know, that part of her body is never exposed.
Yeah. And Yang's missing an arm. Ruby's the only one that's made it, like, through everything physically unscathed.
You're really banking on this losing an eye thing, aren't you?
Well, I was gonna go into that. Apparently there was, like, early art of Ruby with, like, an eye patch or something. So what if Cinder or Neo do the Ragnarok thing and, like, take one of Ruby's eyes out? I mean, she still have one, so she still have the silver eye powers.
Well, obviously, but still.
I'm not saying I want that to happen.
And you're just I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm just very loudly and heavily implying.
I'm saying it could happen, maybe.
I want her eye ripped out. Just rip it out. Gouge it out. Have her suffer. That's what I want.
I want Ruby to suffer.
Very British. If you don't want characters to suffer, why do you constantly bring things up?
I'm saying it as possibilities.
Yeah, well, your possibilities are depressing and I don't like them. Do not hurt the RWBY. She's already mentally scarred in every conceivable way. She went from adorable and innocent to very wound up and full of post-traumatic stress.
Well, there is this other thing. I've wondered about this for ages, but like the longer this volume goes on, I'm losing confidence in this.
Was that?
Well, I had this feeling that Adam was going to play more of a role this volume because, you know,
He was in the intro?
Well, there was that scene with him in the first episode. He got his short, like, before this volume. So it kind of hinted, you know, maybe he'd have a bigger role.
Nope.
Or this would be, like, his, like, conclusion in the overall story. Where is he? This is like volumes 1 and 2 all over again.
He's busy being a broody guy. You know how it be.
I'm not saying I don't want him in any more episodes because I hate the guy, but at least if this was going to lead to his like, overall defeat and maybe death, then I'd be all for it.
And that, yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. As long as Blake and Yang beat him down.
It will happen at some point.
Because I want Blake to kick the ass of the person who abused her for years.
I mean, it's probably going to happen at some point. Probably. Let's be real.
I hope so. Or, like, I've seen fan art of this, and I do want this scene. If Adam tries, like, slicing another limb of someone off, Yang punched the sword with her robo-arm and it shatters. Like, the blade, not her arm.
Oh. The arm would have been way cooler. Exploding arm!
I mean, that would go into what Sun said to Blake in Volume 4, saying that he would do that all again if it meant protecting Blake, and he promised Yang would say the same thing.
True
but
enough.
no, she actually does it.
Nah, that's fair. Anything else to say before we end things off?
Well, there was no RWBY Rewind, like, this week, so
Monsters.
we have no preview. Well, it was, like, New Year's.
That's no excuse.
Yeah, so there was no preview for us to talk about.
Alright then.
What?
We just kind of have to be sad.
We can, like, speculate other stuff.
True.
Like, unfortunately, it does seem like we're not going to get to Atlas until, like, at least the very end of this volume.
Like, man, maybe they'll get to Atlas at, like, the second to last episode of the season, but that's the best case scenario I can think of.
Well, it does also mean we don't have to see Weiss's like, terrible family.
Yeah, except I wanted Weiss to see her terrible family so she could have a bunch of really cool moments defying them and gaining all sorts of new, cool and awesome powers and winning fights and being great and awesome. This was supposed to be Weiss's season. She had the thing in the freaking intro, and she hasn't done diddly.
And she burnt the house down.
That's sort of something, I guess. I don't like it. Everyone gets to do cool stuff but her. Why Rooster Teeth hate her so much?
They don't hate her.
They stabbed her!
They stabbed Blake, too.
Yeah, but she didn't even, like, almost die. She just shrugged it off. Blake gets stabbed, and she's able to still properly run away to a crazy boat with that, to a land of animal people. Weiss gets stabbed, and she would have died had John not just magically gotten his superpower.
I don't want to sound like I'm making things worse, but Blake also still carried an unconscious Yang in her arms.
Yeah. I know.
Hey, Weiss will get her cool moments.
It's just, I've kind of been waiting 6 seasons now, you know? Like, let's talk about all of the really cool things she's been able to do over the course of this series. Well, there was the White trailer. That was great. And that's it. Everything else,
Deathstalker.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Everything else that happens to Weiss from that point on is either her getting knocked down a peg for being selfish, which I feel like she's made up for by now.
She has.
Or being injured or losing fights.
Thinking of other stuff. Oh, she's the one who made the paladin slip off the highway. Like, that was cool.
I'm just saying, compare her to any other. Just compare her to any other member of Team RWBY. Stack up all the really cool moments each character has had.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just trying to say things for Weiss. Like, oh, there's something that you told me. I forgot about. We know how strong Yakatashi Masha, that guy on Team Coffee is.
Yeah, giant guy.
Yeah, with the big sword.
Yeah. He's able... Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, he's able to make a massive crater. And then, with that... And the thing is, he tries to fight one of those paladin robots when the school is being attacked. And he gets pushed back and knocked down by one.
Weiss's knight cuts through it like in one slice.
And just one kafloop.
Yep, and remember, Weiss is able to take at least 2 hits from that knight in the white trailer and still stand.
And yeah, I mean, it's something. It's not a lot, but it's something.
So, Weiss is tough, yo.
Yeah, but it's frustrating, okay?
Like, it'll come. Like, I still say they should go back to Beacon, have Weiss kill the, like, dragon thing. Like,
Yeah, they really should. They really should.
And then have Team RWBY ride it around.
That would be so cool. They wouldn't even need a plane or a boat anymore.
Just, nah, I'm gonna summon a dragon.
At the very least, I want her to be able to summon her, like, I want to see her do just one thing. I want to see her summon multiple things at once, because Winter could do that. She had like a small army with her.
Oh yeah, she did. I forgot about the short.
Yeah, so I want Weiss to do that. That's all I want. Just summon up a bunch of grim spirit things that can fight for her. If I could just get that.
I still have a little question about, like, Weiss and that short.
What?
Like, when she used that fire dust and sent, like, a slash of it to those werewolves,
Yeah.
like, it melts ice from, like, way in the distance. How hot is that?
Relatively.
Seriously.
I assume at least 3rd degree burns.
Like, it's gotta be more than that, like, that distance.
I don't know.
In a blizzard.
That's true, it was in a blizzard, too. Huh. That's fair. The point is, though, Weiss doesn't get nearly enough cool moments. Your favorite character gets tons of cool moments and subplots and all manner of things going on about her. And while she's off on an island fighting all sorts of evil terrorist peoples, Weiss was stuck in a freaking mansion getting slapped and yelled at by old people. And sneaking around. And she finally got out. And it's like, oh, yay, Weiss did a thing. She finally did a thing. And then, oh, she got to fight the big bee thing. And they're like, yeah, okay, cool, she's finally doing stuff. She's getting cool. And then the thing falls over and she gets kidnapped. She can't win.
I mean, at least she doesn't have tension going on with another teammate.
That's not really much of a consolation.
I'm saying it's something.
The fact of the matter is... What are you jingling?
I'm playing with something.
Stop doing that! This episode has ended, I guess.
Sure.
Why are we so bad at this?
I don't know.
Alright, well, whatever. Bye.